Have you ever noticed how, as we get older, life feels different? The world gets quieter. The phone doesn't ring as often. Invitations don't come the way they used to. The house, once filled with voices and laughter, now feels a little too silent. And in those quiet moments, a thought creeps in: does my presence still carry the same weight it once did? But here's something rarely spoken out loud: aging doesn't just bring wisdom. It also brings vulnerability. And that vulnerability is exactly what some people are counting on. It never comes like a thunderstorm. It arrives quietly, like a breeze. A neighbor offering to help with groceries. A distant relative suddenly calling after years of silence. A friendly voice on the phone claiming to be from your bank. On the surface, it all feels harmless. But beneath it, there's often a hidden motive. Let me tell you a story. Mr. James, age 74, lost his wife 5 years ago. Most of his days were spent in the garden or watching old westerns. One afternoon, a young woman from the neighborhood began visiting. She brought cookies, helped set up his phone, even shared tea in the afternoons. James welcomed the company. After all, loneliness can ache louder than pain. But slowly, she began asking for money. Just small things at first: can I borrow $20 for gas? Could you help me pay this bill? James didn't want to seem rude, and he valued her company. By the end of the year, his savings were nearly gone. And so was she. Sadly, James's story is not rare. Older adults are often targeted, not because they are weak, but because they are kind. A lifetime of giving, of helping, of putting others first becomes the very weapon used against them. And there's something deeper at play: the fear of loneliness. After a lifetime of being surrounded by family, work, and responsibilities, suddenly the silence grows. And people with bad intentions? They can sense that loneliness like wolves smell blood. Offer a little warmth, a little attention, and it's easy for a kind-hearted soul to let their guard down. Then there's another challenge: exhaustion. Not just of the body, but of the spirit. When you were younger, you had the energy to argue, to question, to fight back. But now? Peace feels more valuable than confrontation. So when someone crosses the line, instead of pushing back, you smile, nod, and quietly carry the burden. But let's be clear: peace that costs your dignity, your savings, or your emotional health, is not peace. It's silent suffering. And then comes technology. The world has raced ahead with online banking, emails, texts, scams, and fraud. Miss one detail, click one wrong link, trust one wrong caller, and in seconds your hard-earned savings can vanish. They don't just target older adults because of age. They target them because they think you won't fight back. Think about it: you've survived wars, recessions, heartbreaks, raising families, losing loved ones. And yet, people still dare to treat you like easy prey. It's insulting, yes. But it's also dangerous. Because if you don't recognize the patterns, you risk falling into the silent epidemic no one talks about: elder exploitation. It's not just about money. It's about energy. About trust. About dignity. Take Margaret, an 81-year-old widow. After years of no contact, her nephew began visiting. He said he wanted to reconnect. Thrilled, she welcomed him. But soon he brought laundry, borrowed her car, and asked for money. She said yes, because she wanted to believe in family. But in her heart, she knew she was being used. She simply didn't want to admit it. And this is the trap. We convince ourselves that if we keep giving, they'll love us more. If we keep saying yes, they'll stay. But the truth? Real love doesn't come with manipulation. The people who truly care for you will never guilt you into giving. They won't vanish when you say no. Anyone who only stays because of what you give them isn't loving you. They're using you. This is a painful realization, but also a powerful one. Because as you age, protecting yourself isn't just about locking doors or guarding your money. It's about protecting your peace, your health, and your emotional balance. Let me share another story. Helen, age 79, is known in her retirement community for her kindness. She always baked extra in case someone stopped by. But over the years, her apartment turned into a drop-in center. People came for coffee, for advice, for favors. She felt too kind to refuse. Yet no one asked how she was doing. No one noticed her empty fridge. They came for her cookies, not her company. And slowly, Helen realized something: her friendliness had turned into a trap. She wasn't being valued. She was being drained. That's the danger of being too open. Your kindness is beautiful, but without boundaries, it becomes an open invitation to takers. Not everyone who smiles at you has good intentions. Not everyone who knocks on your door deserves access to your trust. Sometimes it's not strangers at all, it's family. That makes it even harder. But here's the truth: history doesn't equal harmony. Just because someone has been in your life for years doesn't mean they deserve front-row access to your peace today. And this is where boundaries come in. Boundaries aren't rude. They are survival. Saying no doesn't mean you've stopped caring. It means you've started caring about yourself too. Think of your energy like a bank account. Every favor, every call, every problem you absorb from someone else, that's a withdrawal. If nothing is being deposited back into your life, you go bankrupt emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. Dorothy, 76, a retired nurse, once told me, "I feel like I'm living for everyone else, but no one is really here for me." Neighbors borrowed her car, family called only for babysitting or money. She was exhausted. But Dorothy learned an important truth: not everyone deserves a seat at your table. And neither does everyone deserve a seat in your heart. Here's the key lesson: if your no offends someone, it means your yes was being taken for granted. Saying no is not rejection. It's protection. You've already spent a lifetime giving, serving, raising, building. These years, your golden years, should be about peace, not pressure. About choosing who lifts you up, not who weighs you down. And here's the beautiful part: when you set boundaries, you don't lose people. You lose the wrong people. And in doing so, you make space for the right ones, the ones who bring peace, kindness, and genuine love. So ask yourself today: who in my life fills me up? And who quietly drains me? Because the circle you keep now, in this season of life, must be smaller, stronger, and more sacred than ever before. This is your time, not to be drained, but to be cherished. Not to live in silent suffering, but to finally live in peace.